our tax GDP is at a very low end. Hence, the public finance architecture needs to have a new look, a fresh look. And we think that with this architecture, financial architecture, the structural change globally, which impacts all economy, more so the developing economy. So I think we have to develop a different financial architecture. One is government cannot spend on all the expenditures of the government, but the enterprises being run as the government enterprises, I feel they should not be funded by the government. They should run like an enterprise. They should go to the market and they should borrow their own funds. If you are running an enterprise, you must run like an enterprise. It cannot be government-owned and also run by the enterprise with the government exchequer. It doesn't work. And it never has worked. In Bangladesh, we have seen that. So, enterprises must go find their own finance. This is one. Number two, our borrowing, like before the multilateral bilateral loans, I think has not been cost-wise, the cost of fund-wise is not working out very well. Particularly when the government borrows from the local financial institutions at a very high rate. We have seen over the last decade and a half that got us into real bad debt situation right now. Interest payment in this budget is 1,25,000 crores, actually shrinking the fiscal space. So much so that we cannot spend on many welfare projects for the country and for the people, like education, like health, like infrastructure, some of the infrastructure, basic infrastructure. So I think we have to develop our capital market. We must develop our capital market. But private sector borrowing from the state banks is not work well. High interest, long term, with a short term deposit in their own.
Sound পাচ্ছে না.
Doesn't work. You have a short term deposit, very long term. We have to go for capital market with large investments, must go to capital market, get their equity from the capital market, get their debts from the capital market. If you are borrowing at a 15%, 14% from the bank, you float a bond that costs you 7%, 8%. Imagine the difference. In any business, that difference is a huge difference. The businesses that run honestly, professionally, do not make, nowhere in the world, generally speaking, do not make that 4, 5, 6%. Return on 5, 6% of any business is considered to be very good. But if you give away borrowing from the bank, that kind of difference, really businesses in Bangladesh should run into problem. So that's another thing. And we have to go for blended financing also. There are financing and there are other financing. And there are other financing. There are syndicated financing. There are fund managers who come and finance, invest. So we have to blend our financing. Just don't simply follow the old traditional, go to high street banks and government exchequer These two areas are only responsible for financing. We have to come out of this. So our financial, in other words, same with the bank, same with the private sector, exactly the same with the government. So we have to go for new financial architecture in Bangladesh. And that will work. And we have initiated to revamp our capital market. We have got a new Security and Exchange Commission. We have a new commission, all professional people, no political appointment. I repeat, no political appointment. All professional people. And none of the financial institutions in Bangladesh are going to have any political appointment. But it's difficult to find good professionals, I have to admit. But I'm trying to make a big panel of professionals who can serve the financial institutions. Hard to find, quite honestly, but we are looking for it. Nevertheless, we have to make the most of it. That's what we are trying to do. So hopefully, the initiative that the current government has taken on the financing side, things should get better. And where we are and where we are going, I think we should look for a better prospect.
And Honourable Finance Minister, if I may ask you to shed some light on the deregulation agenda that is high on priority for the government.
Deregulation is another top priority of this government. I think my budget speech, it was 4.5 pages of deregulation, believe me. It was 4.5 pages. And it was so long that we have to take into consideration deregulation in all sectors. Because sometimes financial sector is not enough. We have to have a holistic approach to deregulation. Deregulation cannot be done in isolation. It is holistically, you have to approach it. So I said, as I said, I had given 4.5 pages in my speech. And I think in Bangladesh, business should not find any problem as far as regulations are concerned. I can assure you, the kind of deregulation that we have proposed in the budget, if I go on now with those here, it will take another 1 hour or so. So I can assure you, deregulation-wise, this was our top priority. And we are very passionate about deregulation, quite honestly. And we are going to have a task force who will oversee this deregulation that we have promised and recommended. A task force will oversee it, and also we are opening a website where anybody who is affected by not non-compliance of deregulation by the government officials or for that matter anybody else, you can visit the website, report, give your concern, tell your concern, it will be taken up immediately by the task force. So it's not just the policy that we have given, we are going to execute it, and everything within time frame. Any permission has to be done within 7 days. And because so many government agencies are involved, so a lot of people asking me, how is it possible? Now we have to have 19 permissions, some says I have to have 40 permissions. How can you do it in 7 days? Then we said we have the focal point of all the agencies with the central point, and they'll be told that this is the application, you better reply within 7 days if you have any problem. If you don't reply within 7 days, it will be taken, the permission is given, and the license will be given. It is as simple as that. As simple as that. No, anybody not complying with that will have to be taken to task. No compromise on this. Deregulation is the key. We understand it only too well. Only too well. Only believe me. This is exactly why not only we have given what deregulation is going to take place, but how to execute it. This is what we have given. So if you want me to read out the long list, I don't have it with me.
But that's going to take a long time. So
No, I
thank you
think
very much.
I think you have made the point of how important it is for the government as part of its strategy for building an enabling environment for business. So thank you, Honorable Finance Minister, and also on the financial sector, on the capital, the new financial architecture, public finance, PPP, and private participation wherever possible, and then the capital market. And there is no alternative to that. Thank you so much for those reassuring, sharing those reassuring vision.
The capital market is not just the reorganization of it. It's the products that we need. We need many products, not the equity. We need the bond. We need various securities which should be available. So any businessman or even the government can go to the government. Why can't the government go to capital market? Why should only private sector? We suggest the government should also go to capital market. Municipalities who have the profitable projects, they can go to capital market and borrow. They can borrow municipal bond. We are also going for municipal bond. So the city corporations who have profitable projects,